Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another YouTube tutorial here on YouTube. And today we're going to be taking a look at something that we haven't done yet, and that is a how to cheese tutorial. So for the matchup, we're going to be taking a look at a TvZ, and this is actually taken from my run today on stream in the $400 ESL Open Weekly Cup. And this was actually the only opponent I played today. I ended up getting 2 buys, and I didn't really play that many matches at all. But this is the one match that I played today, and I actually did lose to this guy, because as it turns out, this guy is a little higher rated than us. I believe he's like 6k on EU, which is quite good. Yeah, so I thought it would be a good example game since our opponent is a little bit better. I think we're going to get a good reference here for you guys to learn this. So to start things off, we do, of course, like any normal TvZ build, we go barracks first, and then we go refinery after the barracks. And to give you guys sort of a rundown of how this build works is it kind of hits really hard and really fast, but it also like prevents the Zerg from scouting. So we're going to get a Viking to deny Overlord scouting, and we're just going to basically have Hellions with the armory, so we get Hellbats, and we're going to follow it up with Marauders and Concussive Shell. And if you merge these two together, then you can actually kill Queens and Lings in very high numbers, and you'll see the strength of it, but it's very difficult for the Zerg to deal with it unless they go roaches, which is something we can talk about later into the replay here. But just to mention the scout timing, we do SCV scout after the barracks builds, so this is a 20 supply scout, and then we're just looking to see if the Zerg hatchery is at 99% by the time we get there. And the reason for this is we're checking to see if it's pool first, as always. And back home, we're going to go Reaper, and then we're going to go Marine. And again, this is just a normal build. We see the hatchery looks good, so everything looks good on the Zerg end for us. We're not going to get cheesed so far. And the Reaper's crossing the map. And then again, we're still sticking to the normal build so far. We go Factory, and then we're going to go Reactor on the barracks when the Marine finishes, as well as starting our second Gas Geyser. And then across the map, we're just going to be poking the drones, trying to deny creep if we can. Nothing fancy. Like, the main goal here is to keep the Reaper alive and to always scout for any potential roach all-in. It got a little hairy here, actually. Wow, that Reaper barely gets out. I probably should have treated my Reaper with more respect this game. Another thing you look for here, of course, is does the Zerg have a third base? And once you see that, you can just sit in front of the natural like this. And yeah, you're just on the lookout for roaches. So we're actually not at the point yet in the build order where you can decide to all in. Like, so far, this just looks like a normal Terran opener. The only moment that this becomes all-in-ish is when we start making Marauders. So we're building the tech lab now. So once that is done, that's when we can decide whether we're going to all-in or not this game, right? So we see that the Zerg player does try to send a slow Overlord in. We push it back with our Marine. And this is also a very important step. You should never not have the Marine on the edge of the base. That's very important. Reaper is still standing over here, which is good. And then, yeah, we're going to start building our depot wall. We want to get that walled off as quickly as we can. Something I didn't really do this game, but something you guys probably should do when you try to recreate this build yourself. It's okay to cut SCVs a little bit, because it's actually really expensive to build the Marauder and the 2 Hellions at a time and the Viking. So if you need to cut a couple workers, it's okay. I actually do cut workers for a second here. So that's fine. Reaper does come home at around the 3-minute 30-second mark. The reason is for this is because that's when speed finishes. So you don't want to be on the map quite yet. And then, like I said, when the barracks finishes, we start the Marauder and the Concussive Shell. And why I wanted to note this timing is because if you wanted to just do a normal build, you could. Like, say you scouted an early Roach Warren, you don't have to do this build until the Tech Lab finishes on the barracks. So that's important timing to note, I think. So the next thing we're going to build here is, after the Viking, is a Medivac. And then you're going to want to build your armory right after you build your Medivac, like right when you get the gas for it. I should build it in a second here. I think I'm just distracted with the Viking control. But yeah, the Viking should also obviously go clear Overlords and stuff. Come on, armory. Come on, come on. There it is. So you build your armory now, and then you keep building your depots. You keep building Hellions. You keep building Marauders. You keep building your Medivac. And the timing that you want to push at is when the third Marauder pops out. So when this Marauder is done, you're going to load up the Medivac with the Marauders. You're going to take the Hellions, and you're going to take about 3 or 4 SCVs from the natural, and you're going to put them on auto repair, and you're going to send them to follow the Hellions, and then you're just going to send everybody across the map. And it's important that you send these 2 units out early as well, so that you can clear the way, because you really want the Zerg to not know this is happening until you're in his face with it, right? That's kind of the theme here. Like, you want to deny all scouting. Like, my Viking is going in the middle of the map to check if there were any overlords here or wherever. So there are the Hellions, there are the SCVs, and then we're loading up the Medivac. I even put the Marine in there because we have the Marine. And then, yeah, we're going to hit the timing as the armory finishes. Obviously, my armory was like 5 seconds late. I don't know why. I should be able to morph my Hellbats right now. But instead, we're just going to, you know, bounce back and forth for a second. And then here's the strength right here. So you boost the Medivac in, and you have concussive shell Marauders. So any unit that the Marauder hits, like the Queen, you kill it every time. Because you actually just can't run away. And this Zerg was actually, this shows why this Zerg player is good. He actually snipes my Medivac right away. But just to show how strong the build is, it just doesn't matter that I lost the Medivac. Like, these units here are going to clear pretty much any number of just Ling Queen. Like, the Zerg player needs Banelings, and he needs way more than, like, this many Banelings, you know what I mean? And then back at home, I should mention the follow-up here is you build Liberators on the starport. You continue to build Marauders, and you continue to build Hellions, and you continue to wall off. And then if you get more money, you can throw down some extra barracks or maybe even another command center. The follow-up isn't as important because honestly, either this build works really well or you're kind of just dead because the Zerg made Roach and he held. Or they made a lot of Banelings and they held. But this Zerg doesn't make enough Banelings here. Like, I split my units quite well. And then I'm always constantly like trying to keep the Marauders on the Queens. I saw an opening here, so I went in with the Hellbats to just clear the drones. And then, yeah, this is like already checkmate for a game. Like, if the Zerg isn't prepared for this, which it's very difficult to scout and very difficult to be perfectly prepared for, this is a very strong all-in. Like, I've won a lot of games using this for sure. But yeah, then your Liberator comes in. The Liberator is like kind of the final nail in the coffin, because you can just section off the entire natural. Like, technically I could take all these units and I can come down here and I can just kill all the drones here. And there's nothing he can do. Like, any unit that comes from the natural or the main now will just die. He does have a Spore Crawler though, which he tries to bring down, but I mean, we've got plenty of units to deal with that. But yeah, it's a pretty strong build. Like, there's not much that goes on for the rest here. We just kind of finish cleaning them up. But yeah, definitely, I hope you guys are able to try this for yourselves, and let me know in the comments how it works for you guys if you have any questions about it. As you can see, I did build the 2 barracks to follow up, and you would just go into like a normal Terran build order. Like, you could get stim, get your gases in the natural, get your ebays. As long as you constantly build SCVs, you actually can transition from this. You just have to deal like a decent amount of damage. Like, you got to kill some drones, or you got to kill every queen. You got to do something to even it out a little bit, because this is an all-in. I don't want it to be confused. This is an all-in for sure, and you have to deal like a decent amount of damage to not lose the game. But like I said, if it doesn't get scouted, pretty easy time for you guys. So let me know how it works, and thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.